Hey, hey, hey. What's going on, Coach
Happy
Luna?
Wednesday, vets.
Yes, sir.
So, sound off, everybody. Where are you guys chiming in from? Let us know and how many years you served in what branch.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a good Wednesday. We got a good topic today.
Yep,
Secondary conditions. I don't know about you, Coach Luna, but before I came here, I didn't even know what that was.
I know. I know. It's just you don't know what you don't know. I got so much knowledge realizing, and most of my percentages now come from secondaries. So, a lot of vets that think that they can't file for a claim anymore, that might be maxed out somewhere, could actually qualify for a good secondary.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll go through some of that today, kind of explain what that is and what we are, and how we can help. Um, but I see a couple vets. Correct me if I'm wrong on the pronunciation, but Antoinette Williams, Louisiana, 8 years Air Force. Welcome.
Welcome.
And we got Fred Hawkins, U.S. Army, 6 years. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Where are you guys coming in from?
Yep,
Thank
you
you.
got it.
I got it.
U.S. Army. Nice. 24 years. Thank you
Wow.
for your service, sir.
95 Bravo, MP, correct? Yeah.
Roman Herrera, San Antonio. Nice.
Nice, nice. U.S. Navy,
South
15
Carolina.
years.
U.S. Air Force, 24 years. Thank you for your service, sir. I think we got a good feel for that. California. So we'll do some brief introductions for each other. I'm Coach John Luna. I was in the Air Force, 4 active, 6 reserve. Got 3 deployments under my belt. I'm currently at 90%, still working on a couple of claims to hopefully get me across that finish line. I've been a coach here with VACI for going on 3 years now, and it's been a very rewarding position. I have been so fulfilled helping vets change their life and getting the help that they deserve. So, welcome. That's my story. And Eddie.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I'm Eddie, Coach Eddie Treveria. I've been here at VACI for about a year and a half, a little bit more than that. Really, really awesome job, awesome position. Couldn't ask for anything else other than working with fellow vets. Um, Myself, I did 4 years active as an MP. Had a deployment under my belt, then went National Guard, became an aviator, did a couple of aircraft. And yeah, got myself here. I started with VACI about 2, 3 years ago as a client, and didn't know what I didn't know, like you said, right?
Mhm.
Underrated. Uh, got myself with a coach and realized that there was a couple other things we can go for, and I'm currently now at 90% working on that 100 also. So we're all in the fight together. Um, and hopefully today we can bring some clarity and hopefully answer some questions and bring some people on board to the elite program if that's what you guys are needing, right? So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah. So,
And
full disclaimer, we are not accredited agents, VSOs, or any other attorneys or entities recognized by the VA. We are consultants that can help you understand the claims process and help you put together some viable claims so you can increase your disability rating. So, some quick points about VACI's program. We focus on strategy, education, and medical evidence, the SEM method. We do one on one coaching. We do strategy calls. We guide through claim submissions. We do CMP prep. We have live classes via Zoom 3 times a day. We do coffee with the coaches every morning at 8 a.m. Central. Uh, we have classes about claim submissions, C&P prep, and then specialty classes to include HLRs, sleep apnea, and other high value claims. And if anybody here is not signed up yet, feel free to use the discovery call link that will be posted here in a second. So you can talk to somebody from VACI and see if we're a good fit. If you feel like we're a good fit, you'll come on board the elite program. You'll get Coach me, Coach Eddie, or another coach with the program to help you out with your claims.
Yeah, good info. Definitely take a look at that discovery link. Uh, a lot of people are stuck and underrated or not rated, and when they come to us, you know, we're able to assist in additional things that they may not have known about. And the elite program is something that I'm still a part of as far as being a client because you know, I still use the resources. We have a lot of resources, like Coach Luna said, the SIM method, the strategy. We build that strategy in the elite program uh, as far as a one-on-one connection with the coach and yourself as the vet. Then we give you that education and resource to understand what that strategy is and how to get a winning claim. And then if any medical evidence is needed, we have the ability to refer over for that. So very, very key and important things there. And then, of course, like Coach Luna said, the live classes, those are very helpful. A lot of Q&A happens during those classes. A lot of knowledge nuggets are discovered and shared between coaches and vets, not just coaches, right? Um,
Right, right. When you sign up, it's not just me that you're talking to. If there's a question that sometimes I get stumped on a question. There's such a wide palette of disability claims on that get presented on a case by case basis. If I get stumped on something, you're not stuck with me just being stumped. I have a plethora of other coaches that can assist with that. We have like a hive mind going on. We'll consult each other and help give you the best strategy possible. So when you sign up and you get a coach, in reality, you get a team of coaches that works amongst each other to help you get results.
Definitely, and
Mm-hmm.
we are definitely a team. You know, I always bounce questions off of fellow coaches, fellow senior coaches. Um, we all talk. We all make sure that we're up to date because it's an ever changing
Mm-hmm.
evolution with the VA. We're up to date, and we make sure that we're good to go on that. Hey, Jerry, good to see you here. Glad you were able to hop on. Um, hopefully, we'll get to talk soon. Um, but yeah, I also wanted to address a couple of things. Uh, Rika Lopez, uh, really need help. Not sure who to contact. El Paso, Texas. Uh, Definitely take a look at that discovery call link that will be posted up here. That's your first start right there. See if you can ask your questions and see if it's a good fit for you. Um, and then that should be the starting point, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
I guess some things that we we are consultants. So that means that we don't write up any documents for you. We can't retrieve any records. We show you how to go about to gather those documents so you can work on combining those claims together. A lot of what the claims process is about requires a lot of knowledge that we already have. So if you are unfamiliar with the VA claims process, that's where we help. We let you know what resources you need, where to look for them, and we help you combine that. So we don't write up anything for any veterans. We don't tell you what to say. We help you talk about your uncomfortable truths. If you've been dealing with something for mental health for a while and you have not found anybody to really open up and confide with, but you know it's been detrimental to your quality of life, we can help out. I'm rated at 70% for post traumatic stress. I have my good days, I have my bad days. Right now, you're seeing Coach Eddie and my's Facebook face right now, but we're vets. We are disabled veterans just like you. So outside of this, we have very real lives where our disabilities do affect us in negative ways, and we are empowered to help other veterans who don't know about their benefits uh, figure out their own path to make sure that they get recognized, because the help that the VA can give you does improve your situation, and it gets you recognized for something that you know happened because of your service. You get some vindication knowing that depression, anxiety, your back, your feet have been taken away your potential of who you could have been. So that's what you get when you sign up for us. You get real world empathy from veterans that are in it just the same as you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And with that, I wanted to jump into the topic that we have today,
Mm-hmm.
because you hit a lot of points that a lot of veterans may not realize they may qualify for certain things. So, secondary conditions. Um, like I said in the beginning, I didn't know what those were before I got here. I thought, I was in the military. I hurt my back. That was it, right? I can only claim my back for whatever the reason was. It was injured with. Didn't know that my back is also connected to a lot of other things that, in time, can definitely impact the health of it, right? So, for instance, like the hip bone connected to the knee bone connected to
Mm-hmm.
that, everything connects, right? If one thing goes, then it starts to kind of,
It
you know,
everything follows.
hmm
Everything follows.
yeah. And when I was explaining that, I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. And yes, that would be an example, for instance, of a secondary condition. Let's say your lower lumbar causing issues with your legs, which is usually called radiculopathy, right? Um, so that's just an example. I wanted to see if you had any other examples that we can explain, that are more common, and vets can understand what they are.
No, you're right. Yeah, like when I get a veteran and I see that they have one knee that's service connected, and typically, when you leave active duty, you might be leaving in like your 20s, early 30s. It might not be that big a deal. But veterans that come to me after they've been out for a few decades, well, that knee has now manifested into severe back pains and has affected their other knee now as a result of the compensation their body has had to do because of the degraded knee over the course of time. So things get worse as you get older. So hip bone connected to the knee bone, like all that is still relevant. There's other conditions out there, for instance, like tinnitus. Tinnitus, oh my God, tinnitus is a consistent condition, and it really depends on the severity that it acts up that day. I sleep with two fans plus a TV to drown it out sometimes. And with veterans, as they get older, that tinnitus will also increase in severity and really, really wreak havoc on your quality of sleep, which just snowballs during your day when you feel absolutely fatigued and grumpy. So, as a result of that, like a veteran could just have tinnitus service connected. But what does that tinnitus look like after you've been out for a few years? How have you noticed the correlation between that and your anxiety and your insomnia because of that degree of frequency that's diminishing your sleep? So there's a number of conditions there. If you have a mental health condition, and you suffer with gut issues, like PTSD is known to cause heartburn, which I deal with pretty often. I have to get Tums,
I hear
especially
you.
on rough days, and it's all a result of anxiety. Like I remember, I used to finish a big old thing of those in Iraq when we were getting mortared on a daily basis. So like that anxiety can upset your stomach and your guts in a way that wasn't maybe originally recognized on active duty. But if you have a condition that's service connected now, for instance, PTSD, and you're dealing with irritable bowel syndrome or heartburn, that could be taken in consideration as a secondary condition.
Right. And the big thing with that is that SEM method, the SEAM method, the strategy, education, and medical evidence, right? And that's something that can definitely be in the elite program if you have a coach, a one-on-one strategy to discuss the specifics of what can be secondary to your uh, scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to bring up another one, uh, more recent, due to the presumptives that are now being approved for the burn pit. Any type of respiratory conditions, right, that uh, are coming up as far as sinusitis, rhinitis, asthma. If those things are something that you can be service connected for, uh, a lot of veterans that have sleep apnea can then look into possibly getting that service connected secondarily. Uh, and not just that, right? There's other things that you can secondarily connect um, for that. But that one's a strong one now, right? And there's a lot of
Yeah.
vets in the Southwest Asia campaign that are able to look and see if that's what they qualify for as far as the new presumptives, and they've been diagnosed with sleep apnea. That's pretty much a solid strategy right there.
It's like
Um,
a chessboard.
mhm.
Sometimes you can't make a move too soon. Like, for instance, veterans that have sleep apnea, sinusitis, rhinitis, PTSD. Out of those claims, you don't want to put sleep apnea first. You don't have that those set of moves that make sleep apnea likely. You want to make sure that you do contact a coach so they can put those pieces together to make sure that your condition will make sense in the claims world to get service connected. So there's
Right.
such a thing as filing a claim too soon. If you file a claim too soon without the foundation to back it up, it's going to fall. So the
Good
VA
point.
CI Elite program can help you get in contact with a coach that can help you make sense of your claims. You don't want to submit something that is probably viable, but if you play that card too soon, you're going to lose that opportunity and maybe be delayed months or years.
Yeah, good point. When I talk to my vets and they have an idea that, hey, I have this. We're gonna have to wait. This is why, right? You're gonna have to build uh, that strategy to get first this, and this, and then we can build off of that once you get connected. And here's why. And a lot of vets that I work with don't realize that. And um, you know, if they wouldn't have waited, it would have been denied or delayed. So we just try to make sure that we have the right strategy intact to put a successful claim in.
Oh yeah, oh
Sure.
yeah. Like, we understand that you guys want to submit claims and you want to see immediate results. But if the foundation is not there, we'll be honest. There's some vets that already do have a pretty good foundation of medical evidence, and we can submit claims sooner. So it's a case by case basis. I know a very common question we get is, um, how soon until I can see results, or how fast until we can actually submit a claim. Well, that really is a case by case basis. If you guys have not been to the doctor since leaving active duty, you need to, as Brian says, get your butt to the doctor. A lot of this, like, claims are built up upon medical evidence. So if you guys are dealing with anything for mental health, with your guts, with your back, with your feet, and you know that there's something documented from active duty, you need to show that that condition is still bugging you. The VA is not going to pay you for a disability condition if you don't show any evidence that it's still bugging you.
Yeah,
So medical evidence definitely is the foundation for any successful claim.
very
And
very
with
good point.
secondaries, same thing. A lot of vets get very discouraged when they sign up, saying, "Well, I don't really have too much. I only have a bad knee and I have tinnitus. I don't have anything else from active duty. I don't know if I could claim anything else." That alone, if you have a bad knee and tinnitus, and let's say that vet was from 20 years ago, those conditions have probably manifested other conditions, which can be known as secondaries. So if you have a bad knee from uh, 10, 20, 30 years ago, and now you have bad backs and your other bad knee, those conditions can be service connected as secondaries. You don't need active duty records to argue that. You need some current treatment showing that those conditions have now manifested as a result of your service connected conditions. So definitely sign up, listen to your coach, and don't get discouraged. If you guys have like one or two things service connected, you see that you might have other conditions that are the result of that, then get in contact with us. We can show you, we can see what you might qualify for.
Yeah, yeah, and you brought up good points there about the medical evidence, and I wanted to kind of discuss a little bit about what um, is possibly needed on top of that, right? Which is
Hmm.
called a nexus, right? So when you're going for a claim, and let's just say it's tinnitus, and migraine secondary, right? Because that's what your triggers are. Um, you're gonna need something that's called a nexus, the connection to your service. Uh, we're able to provide you the referral to Telemedica in order for them to look at your documents and provide that nexus if it's there, right? And that's that connection to service that a medical professional can give you, and that gives you huge weight, huge evidence when you're submitting that claim, where it's not just your lay statement or uh, hearsay, right? As the VA may look at it, you actually have that nexus from a medical professional, which is huge again, right?
Hmm. So what exactly makes up like a secondary condition? Like going back to what I said before, like secondary conditions are not thought to have been originated on active duty. They're thought to have been caused or made worse by something that you are service connected with which did come from active duty. So past that, it's really treated as a claim. You need to prove the Clusa triangle, which you need to require an in-service event or diagnosis, which is the primary condition. You need to have a current diagnosis, which is the current medical evidence from being seen by a doctor, showing that you now have a condition that is manifested because of it. And then, as Coach Eddie said earlier, you need to get that nexus to have a doctor sign off that, yes, your headaches are caused by tinnitus, or yes, your sleep apnea is a result of your chronic sinusitis and rhinitis on that. So, um, secondaries are just as scrutinized by the VA as a regular claim. You need to make sure that you have all the pieces needed for it to check out. You need to have that current treatment to show that it is a disability that is affecting your life.
Yeah, and just a caveat off of that,
Hmm.
I always tell my veterans, it's just like asking for a disability anywhere, and they're gonna say, okay, well, where did it happen? Okay, did it happen at work or the military? Is it still going on? How bad is it? Right? Because if you go and, well, I banged my knee in '84, and now it's this, right? Uh, well, where's the continued care in between, and where's
Hmm.
your diagnosis now? There's a lot of things that you have to take in consideration when you're doing these claims. Um, and as far as the secondary aspect of it, um, you got to know why they're secondary and how they're connected, right? A lot of veterans that I talk to don't even realize some of the things that like I'll ask them questions on, have you ever experienced this or that, just because I know what they're already service connected for. And they're like, it does come up because of this aspect of my service connection. I just thought dealt with it, didn't know that it could be claimed.
Hmm.
So then we start to discover that and move forward with things like that. So
A lot
um,
of that is really just cutting through the uh, the stubbornness that a veteran has with themselves. We like, what was the term? We embrace the suck,
mhm,
and we do that to our own detriment. We will keep walking with bad knees, working with headaches, and bearing with depression and anxiety. And as you were saying earlier, that continuity of care. If you hurt something on active duty, I can't tell you how many veterans say that they just keep sucking it up through years, up until, like 10 years after they left active duty, they have no choice but to see a doctor because that pain that they've been living with so many years has now become unbearable. So that's what we help vets kind of breathe some fresh air into taking care of themselves. Sometimes we can be the worst with watching out after our own health, and up until the point like where it becomes so unmanageable that we do need to see the doctor on a regular basis for that condition. Now, if you have that lack of continuity of care, that's going to make the claim not impossible, but just harder to get. So the sooner that you can respect your body and the hurt that you're going through and get seen by a doctor because of it, the easier it will be to get those conditions recognized. You don't want to be putting up with pain for years because, like, I'm 36. I cannot run the 3 or 4 miles that I used to love running because I got bad knees. I see other peers of my same age posting on Instagram and Facebook that they just finished running 5 miles. I try to do that, my knees are gone. And unfortunately, I didn't go to the doctor on active duty for that, so I can't claim that. So if you're on active duty right now and something is happening, don't suck it up. I sucked it up because I was on night shift and I don't want to wake up during the day to go to the doctor. And now I'm really kicking myself in the butt because of that. But going back to um, the topic, secondaries, yeah, if you have a condition that you've had for a number of years now, and that has resulted in numerous other conditions that you're now living with, then definitely sign up and we'll see what your medical records say. It's never too late to get the process started. So by all means, sign up for that discovery call and see if we're a good fit, and let's see what we can accomplish together.
Yeah, and but I wanted to say right before we could probably move on to some Q&A and answer some questions here. But uh, I can tell you probably every vet, including myself, right, that I talk to. Well, yeah, I've been experiencing that my whole adult life after the military. I thought it was normal. Well, it's not. Let's get that looked at. Go get seen first off. Hopefully you can get some relief of these things, which is great. And then you're gonna get the treatment and the diagnosis, and then we can move from there, right? To
Yep.
possible secondaries. So definitely, like you said, listen to your body now, and go get, like Brian says, get your butt to the doctor. Get that medical evidence for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, like popping ibuprofen 800s and Red Bull is not a good substitution for self-care, and I'm saying that from
Experience.
uh,
Yeah.
my own guilty experience is thinking ibuprofen 800s and Red Bull would just get me through the day. Worked for a little bit, but now no, it
Yep.
that phase of my life is definitely past, and now yeah, I need uh, painkillers, Bengay, and yeah, I'm seen regularly by my doctor now.
Yep. Yep. I think your story matches a lot of us, including myself, brother. Yeah.
Yep, yep, yeah. Or what was that energy drink uh, when we were deployed? Rippets,
Rippets. Yep.
rippets. Yeah, like oh, you know what? I only slept like maybe an hour. Let me go ahead and have 5 rippets and some ibuprofen, and I'll get through this day.
Yeah.
Well, like yeah, that. And then you continue that process coming back or when you get out, and
Hmm.
it's just the mentality we got: embrace the suck and keep going. But
Yeah.
after a number of years, when it catches up to you, and it really catches up to you, um, you want to have that medical evidence to show that, like, yeah, I've been dealing with this for quite some time.
Hmm. Very true. Very true. So I wanted to first off address Terry. How do you sign up? So definitely take a look at the link that's going to be brought up, and you can go there and read up on it and actually sign up. There is also that discovery call link that we can provide to make sure that if you want to see if this is a good fit for you, that would be a good way to get a hold of somebody and ask questions and see if there's any details that they can provide you to move forward. Yeah, but hopefully we'll see you soon, Terry, and you know Like we said, get your butt to the doctor now if things are going on that have been going on for a long time. That way you got the ball rolling. Okay.
Hmm.
And then let's see. So I saw another. I'm going through the questions here, and I saw another question.
Richard Wagner, is sleep apnea considered a primary or secondary? Uh, the answer is yes. So like any condition really can be considered a primary if it was diagnosed and treated on active duty, and you left active duty having filed your claim. So if you were diagnosed with sleep apnea on active duty, or what is it, 365 days of
After
time
discharge.
after active duty, that will be considered a primary condition. Now, a lot of vets, including myself, we didn't get seen or diagnosed with sleep apnea on active duty. I recently got my sleep apnea service connected as a secondary to my post traumatic stress disorder. So that happened with a Nexus letter from Telemedica, and understanding what I was going through that really made me understood the connection between sleep apnea and PTSD. In my case, I still deal with night terrors. I will have nightmares or night terrors about mortars, and for a while I was waking up screaming or gasping for air. I always thought that it was because I was just scared in my dream, but it got so severe that I realized in my own sleep that I wasn't breathing, and I'd wake up yelling just to get some breath. And that still happens to this day, even with the CPAP. So that was my connection to sleep apnea and PTSD. So, to answer your question, is sleep apnea considered a primary or secondary? It depends on your specific case. Were you diagnosed on active duty? Were you diagnosed after active duty? Do you have some conditions service connected that make sleep apnea a viable secondary condition?
Yep.
So, and to say again, the way you can find out is go ahead and sign up for that discovery call and get yourself in touch with a coach, and we'll see if the pieces are there for a viable claim.
Yeah. Awesome points. It all depends on your circumstance. Like you said, did you have it
Hmm.
during active duty and get diagnosed and continue care from there? Could be most definitely a primary. Um, in most cases, because it's sleep apnea, it would probably be secondary, just because most of us didn't know what that was when we were in, right, and including myself. Uh, so always definitely depends on the circumstance of your specific issues and claims. But I wanted to give a quick shout out to Rick Dowdy, uh, coming in hot from Memphis. He's been great. He's one of the vets that was successful here, and always love seeing him. Always love talking to him and coffee with coaches and all the classes that we offer. So if anybody knows Rick, give him a shout out, and definitely a good resource as far as success for his claim. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? Let's take a look.
So Roscoe Boyd, I got Social Security disabilities for my knees and back. I was told that I need a Nexus for my knees and back. Knees give out sometimes. So that depends on what you got service connected, Mr. Boyd. So if you got one of your knees service connected and now you have your back and your other knee giving out, then yes, you would need a Nexus letter because of that. If they're already service connected and they're much worse than they were when you first got service connected, then maybe you can go for an increase. So it all depends on what your specific case looks like, where you're at, and what you need.
Yep. Let's see here. So I see a lot of questions about definitely sleep apnea. And I'm glad you guys you're asking them, because that's one of the big culprits. Like for instance, John Matthews. How about if I have service connected 0% rhinitis? Can you claim OSA, which is sleep apnea, obstructive sleep apnea? So a couple things there, right? If you're service connected for rhinitis, even if it's at 0%, you're service connected, right? So you could definitely have a secondary off of that, And can it be sleep apnea? Most definitely. As long as you close that Kaluza triangle, current diagnosis, and the nexus, to connect it, um, it should be a pretty solid claim. Um, Along with maybe other things, right, that you may have, service connected. So definitely, if you have any questions, get on that elite membership website. See if this is a good fit for you, and see if one of us coaches can help you with that.
Yep. Oh, and Brian popped in. Hey, Brian.
Oh, there you are. Hey, Brian. Yes, sir. We're telling everybody here to get their butts
Get
to
their
the
butt to the
doctor.
doctor.
Very
See, I
important.
saw something else. Christopher Knox, will I be required to do another CMP exam for an increase for post traumatic stress disorder? Uh, the VA always has authority on giving you a CMP exam for any condition. There have been cases where they might go with an acceptable clinical evidence, an ACE exam, which doesn't require a CMP exam, but it doesn't happen to the severity of or to the regularity of me saying go ahead and let your guard down. Always expect that the VA can give you a CMP exam. Always be prepared to stand up for your story, and just always be prepared is the main message. You don't know what the VA will or won't do. They have that discretion on their own, but you always want to be prepared.
Right. And there's different types of CMPs out there that they're gonna provide, uh, in person, digital nowadays, right, or virtual.
Hmm.
And then there's also what they call ACE, which is still a CMP exam, but what they're doing is looking through your records and letting you know that, hey, if it's an ACE exam, we have everything we need here to make a decision. So regardless, you're going to have a CMP for any kind of increase, new, supplemental, anything. It just depends on which one. Let's see.
Twana Wolf, I'm service connected for ankle. Can knees be a secondary? Absolutely. If you've been dealing with a bad ankle for a number of years, your knees are gradually going to try to adjust because of the pain that that ankle is causing. So after a number of years that go by, it's going to be manifesting in your knees as a result. So medical evidence will show that if you start getting diagnosed with arthritis or strain in the knees because of that, that could be a potentially very good viable secondary condition to get your knee service connected.
Right. Yep. And definitely, um, something to look at there is, at this point, if you have nothing related to your needs as far as diagnosis, go get seen, get
Hmm.
that diagnosed. And then once you do, you know, um, if you're not a member, see if you can sign up and get with one of the coaches so that we can make sure that you're pointed in the right direction afterwards to get that nexus and move forward with that and other claims that you
Yeah,
deserve.
diagnoses reign supreme in claims world. If you just file a claim arguing that your knees are bad because of your service connected angle, but you've never been to the doctor, it's got a very low chance of success. You need to show a current diagnosis of a condition that as the result of a service connected condition. So don't just file a claim because you know in your head you've been putting up with it for a number of years. The VA is not going to accept that as enough evidence. You need to get seen by a doctor. You need to get proper um, evaluations and diagnoses to show, like, yeah, you have been dealing with something for a while and it has gotten worse.
I just saw a question from Christopher Knox come up, and I wanted to answer that. That he says, "Will I need another nexus for increase on PTSD?" No. Anything that's already service connected and you're going for an increase on, you do not need a nexus. It's already established. At that point, you're just going for an increase in establishing how it's that condition has gotten worse. And then second, I wanted to add this comment. You can do a secondary on a secondary. So a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
don't realize that. Uh, do you have an example? I'm trying to think of one. just kind of a most common one. Um,
So I have seen tinnitus with vets that have got it really bad. They managed to get insomnia as a secondary, and then also headaches and migraines as a secondary. So you can have two secondaries under one service connected condition if you can prove that that condition has resulted in these new disabilities.
mhm, yes, and the important part to remember on that is, as long as you get service connected for primary or secondary, that then opens up the door to secondarily connect something to those.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I've also seen like the way it shows up in your e-benefit screenshot. I've seen like knee and then back and then right knee, kind of like in a little pyramid
hmm,
going downward on that. So there can be more than one secondary service connected condition as a result of one primary service connected condition.
correct. Yep.
Hmm. Good point. Good pointing out that.
Let's see. Looking through some of the questions.
Yeah. Yeah, for going back to what you were saying about Nexus letters come into play when you are introducing a new condition to your disability list. So that at that point, that's when you would need that. If you already have something service connected, you don't need to argue the Nexus again because it's already been established that it is a result of your service. So just make sure that you guys aren't probably purchasing or even like browsing for stuff to purchase if you don't even need it. And again, when you sign up with VA Claims Insider and you get a coach, we can tell you what you can or what you could or could not need. So you're saving yourself money. A lot of these
Yeah.
Nexus letters can come at a price, and we want to make sure that you're not just spending your money recklessly. We're very strategic and we're very mindful about asking you to buy a Nexus letter because we know it's your money. We know that these documents can cost a certain amount, and we want to make sure that you're actually making solid investments to make a real difference.
Right, right. Yeah, definitely a good point. We're always looking out to make sure that we're doing right for the veteran, um, and that the medical fees associated with those documents um, are known and are needed. Right.
Hmm.
So definitely, if you want to get on that discovery call again, it's on the link is posted. But I wanted to answered Don Lombard. He said he used the VSO and he did the spray and pray. Out of seven things that were service connected, three got me 80%, and the rest were zero. Okay, so a lot of information there, right? Definitely always get a lot of veterans that do the spray and pray at first. It's common, right? And it's okay. We naturally do a strategic aspect to the claim process to coach you through it. Um, I would definitely recommend, Don, that you take a look at seeing if our program is a good fit for you, because if you got a lot of zeros that are service connected, maybe some of those, that the three that were 80%, you may have some secondaries that can be associated to any or all of those. You can have some of those zeros upgraded. There's a lot of room for improvement there. So definitely anybody in that situation, it's a good situation to be in, and just get some coaching along the way. Let's see. Well, looks like we got about 15 or so minutes remaining on the hour. We can go back to some Q&A, but I wanted to also recap on some of the things that we offer.
Hmm.
Definitely the SEAM or SEM method, uh, the strategy, education, medical evidence, right? We're harping on that because that's how we operate here. We got to build that strategy, just like we said, right? Uh, you can always submit a claim too soon, but you won't
Yeah.
know that unless you have a strategy, and that can come with the coach, which will come with that elite membership. Education, that's what we have. We have videos, we have blogs, we have things like this, Facebook Live, uh, live classes throughout the week, very interactive with coaches and staff here. Um, and then the medical evidence, that is something like we just talked about with the Nexus letters or psych evals or things like that that we can coach you through and see if it's needed. Um, and then along with that, right, you get that one-on-one coaching if you're an elite member, and that gives you a lot of really good preparation for the strategy, the claim submission, and the CMP prep. Now that CMP prep is key, right? Because once you get the CMP scheduled for any or all of your conditions, a lot of us don't know what to expect if it's our first time, or if it's even our 100th time because it's all went bad. So
Right.
we like to give examples of good and bad and let you know that there is a way to prepare for it, to know what to expect and how to handle it. So,
Yeah, and especially going back to that CMP and secondaries, the today's topic. There have been a number of times like where a vet will show me past denials. They'll file something as a secondary, but then they're trying to show uh, old evidence from active duty or even buddy statements saying, "I remember." Airman so and so or Marine so and so complaining about a headache from active duty, but then they filed it as a secondary. So you're submitting contradictory evidence. So that's where we can help refine that strategy, because with secondaries, it has to be argued in a certain way because you're going after it as a secondary. If you get information that you're trying to, blame the flu that you had in active duty, but you didn't go to the doctor until 15 years after, you know, maybe it's more viable as a secondary instead of a primary. But if you're submitting evidence from active duty but trying to file it as a secondary, that's going to confuse the CMP examiner, and that's going to result in a denial. So that's what we can provide you is cohesive and consistent evidence for secondaries to make sure that you have the highest chance of success.
yep. I like how you say that, highest chance of success, right? We want to put
It's a
together
process. It's a
success
process.
claims.
Sometimes
Yeah,
losing claims can be a part of the process. A lot of times, those denials are the result of sloppy evaluations that we can end up arguing on the back end with a higher level review to make sure that the evidence, the quality evidence that we submitted, gets appropriately recognized. Like
right.
we submit quality, well built claims that has the highest chance of success. So that's not the same as saying like you have a 100% guarantee. It's a process. So you have somebody on your side when you sign up that understands that process, understands that the VA will make mistakes sometimes that other end up in denied claims. So you need to have someone that knows how to read that and know how to pivot into a new direction to make sure you have another chance of getting that service connected.
Yeah. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to David. Thank you for showing up, David, and you're one of the success stories, right? We work together, and you could be a great example to fellow vets on how the process works and a testimony to it. Glad you're here, brother. Glad we were able to help you out. Definitely. It's good seeing the good feedback. Uh, uh, Fellow vets that have been with us and won. Um, Spread the word. Spread the word to fellow veterans. Let them know that we're here for you guys. We're veterans or associated with veterans in some way in this company. So that's our main objective is let's get veterans what they deserve. And that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much it. Let's get what they deserve.
And
Um,
especially with secondaries, like don't be discouraged if you don't have active duty records for anything else. If you already have one or two things service connected, sign up. Let's see what else you're dealing with as a result of those. You don't need any active duty records to argue for a secondary condition.
yeah. No, it's good that you said that because we have even fellow coaches that say that they've never even looked at their active duty records and know where they're at, and they're at 100%,
Mm-hmm.
because they know what they're dealing with now, and they know what happened during active duty, and everything in between. So primaries and secondaries just fall into place when you do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the records don't have to be there. Um, you just have to move forward, and that's another point. Don't wait. Don't wait.
Don't wait.
Just do
Don't
it.
wait. When a vet
Uh,
signs up and I see their disability list from e-benefits, that tells me their story. If a vet just has their back service connected and nothing else, but they got out like almost 30 years ago, I finish their sentences in my head when they start talking about what that back has done to them. They start talking about how their back has prevented them from enjoying a time with their spouse. Sometimes intimately, they can't even initiate being intimate with the spouse because the pain is just so severe. That is a huge diminishment of quality of life. Sometimes they had to give up their favorite sports like horseback riding, you know, basketball, other things that they used to enjoy, rock climbing, as a result of that one service connected condition. They probably didn't have anything else um, service connected, but I already can see a veteran story from their disability list, and there's a lot of pain that comes after years of being out as a result of one or two things that you were service connected with. So we can make sense of that story. By all means, go ahead and make that discovery call and sign up.
and so Tom, I just saw your comment. 76 years old, Air Force, 1963. Hearing loss. Is it worth pursuing a claim after so much time? Yes, yes, definitely. We've had a lot of veterans in the same position as you that are like, let's just try it, right? And then we start getting success and get them where they need to be.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, it's never
And
too late.
specifically with Air Force, I'm Air Force too. Like being on the flight line is a very noisy place. And I was from an era where they were enforcing hearing protection. But when you're behind a C 130 with its engines running, pushing cargo, it's still loud with hearing buds and those big old goggles over your ear. And I still have severe tinnitus now as a result of it. So, by all means, Tom, if you're dealing with hearing loss and you were around loud generators, aircraft, sirens, like Air Force is a very, very noisy um, branch to be in. So, let's see what you have going on and let's see how we can help you out.
Very much so. Yeah. Please, it's never too late. Um, at least take a look at that discovery call link and see if this is a good fit for you, because I would hate for you to just sit there and just say this is good enough when you can definitely maybe build from it. And look, we're just saying let's get you what you deserve, right? That's it.
Hmm.
Um, Nothing more, nothing less. Whatever um, you deserve by ethically, morally, legally, we want you to get that, and we're here to help coach you through it. Okay. Um, so as we kind of wrap up, I wanted to also kind of mention some of the classes that we do via Zoom as elite members. So we do have 3 times a day some of these classes. Schedule fluctuates depending on holidays or things like that, but uh, most of the times 3 times a day. Coffee with coaches is something that we start the day off with 8 a.m. Central. It's a bunch of vets just getting together, talking, asking questions, camaraderie, right? Just
Hmm.
just drinking coffee and starting the day off with fellow vets, fellow coaches that are vets. Um, we have claim submission C&P prep classes. Like I said, those are very key because a lot of us don't know what to expect when we're going into this, or we're expecting it to be horrible because that was our experience in the past, and we thought we just have to deal with it. Not the case. There's different methods of reporting things like that, and you can learn that stuff from these classes. And then of course we have specialty classes like HLR, sleep apnea, high value claim type of classes that are offered throughout the weekends, depending on the schedule. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention so that if you do sign up and you become an elite member, that you'll be able to enjoy some of these um, classes and live Zooms, and it's all about connecting with fellow veterans and making sure uh, first off that we're good to go for the start of our day, and then we move on from there, right?
Yeah, we're a virtual company. We don't have any buildings or offices, but we have a lot of FaceTime with our vets. We have resources there that really connects us together, regardless of us not having offices. So you are really welcomed into a community when you sign up, and you have a whole team on your back. And even with the elite program, you get the mastermind Facebook group where you're more than welcome to interact with other veterans and coaches alike. So we have a very, very connected group of vets and coaches, and that all share one purpose: want to get you recognized for the disability and compensation that you rightly deserve.
Yep, yep. And Tom Murphy, hopefully you'll be in touch. I see that you put that in the chat. Definitely hope that you will be in touch, and you'll get connected with a coach and start moving forward on getting that percentage, and that um, compensation is great, but also the care, right, that you deserve when it comes to any of these uh, service connection conditions that we can get you for. Um,
No, that's a great thing that I want to pivot off of, like the compensation and care you deserve. So a lot of times, it's not even just about the monetary compensation. It's about actually going to a doctor and getting some relief for that pain that you've been putting up with so long. Going back to self medicating with ibuprofen and Red Bull, that's not a good substitution for actual medical care. I kept doing that to address my sciatica. It got to the point where I couldn't walk. I actually had to go to the doctor for that relief. So when veterans think that they want to sign up here just for that compensation, and then they get more out of it because they actually start getting their conditions cared for, it's a life changing experience because you're getting the compensation you deserve, and you're finally getting some real relief from all this hurt that you've been holding on with solo for so long.
hmm Yeah, that's a big part.
Hmm.
Getting that relief. The quality of life will definitely improve, and it just takes you admitting to certain things, and that certain things are hurting, and getting in there, getting your butt to the doctor. Um, hey, David, love you, man. Hope you have a great day, and hope to see you around more often. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, David. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, man. So yeah, with these last 2 minutes that we have, I just want to thank everybody for joining. Um, if you again, if you're not a member and you want to either do a discovery call to see if it's the right fit for you, take a look at that link. If you're ready to sign up, go ahead and do that. The second link for the membership, and we'll hope to service you and coach you through the process, and get you through successfully, and you know answer any questions that come up throughout the process.
Yep. So thank you for spending your time with us today, vets. If you have any other questions, please reach out. Use that discovery call link, and we're here to help.
Appreciate you guys.